Welcome to IHIP News, where we share our opinion about the news that is important to us. And last week I was sad. This week I'm mad.
Right.
And listener, what I think happened here is that MAGA runs on perception. They give you the perception that all of these things are going on when they're not true. And they keep beating it and beating it and beating it until everybody believes it. And the Dems ran on the assumption. We ran on the assumption that surely people don't believe this bullshit. Surely people are not going to vote for this maniacal nut job. Surely people have listened to his speeches. And that's where I think the great divide is.
What I found so interesting was after the debate, when it was eating the dogs, eating the cats, there were people that actually believed Haitian immigrants were eating dogs and cats. And it was at that point I realized that the Trump tried and true method of lying until people believe it, until it becomes true, was actually penetrating with his base.
Well, I think some people believe it, but some people just accept he's a blowhard. He's not going to do any of this stuff. He's not going to deport all these people to explain the Latino vote. And let me tell you, I think as Democrats, we need to have some very tough conversations. And I hold 100% the Biden administration accountable for it getting this far. Nancy Pelosi did her job and tried to impeach him. And then we can all hand wring and pearl clutch, oh my God, Mitch McConnell gave him a pass. Well, of course Mitch McConnell gave him a pass. Joe Biden, when he appointed his attorney general, should have said, your number one job is to make sure that this man is prosecuted and everything he did is out in the light. Everything that he did, the American public knows about. And what did they do? They sat on it for 2 years. Any notion that Democrats have that Mitch McConnell was supposed to save us, get over yourselves. Does my criticizing Joe Biden right now take away from some of the great legislation that he did? No. But Joe Biden plays integrity politics. MAGA plays fuck you politics. And we need to start playing fuck you politics. So Jack Smith, Biden administration, release all the evidence, leak it, every ounce of it, leak every crime that he committed into the American public, and let's smear him and continue smearing him, because that's what they do. Democrats need to start playing fuck you politics.
I completely agree, because I think that Merrick Garland thought, well, I'm not going to touch it because it's going to look political. What he failed to realize is no matter what happens, the right is always going to say they're victims, they're being persecuted, oh, poor them. And so to hand them 2 years before any of this got to court was an absolute failure on the part of Merrick Garland.
Listen, if Barack Obama had done something like this, Hillary Clinton had done something like this, they wouldn't blink. There would be hearings, there would be court cases, there would be people in bracelets. They would act rapidly and quickly. So why did a portion of the American public forgive him? Because leadership starts at the top. The president of the United States for the last almost 4 years did not say, this is going to be the number one thing in my agenda, is making sure that we never have a coup again, that nobody ever does this again. Because had those rioters gotten into Congress and Nancy Pelosi was in her office, she'd be dead. Had they found Mike Pence, he'd be dead. Had they found any of these others, they would be dead. And how did the Biden administration treat it? Oh, we can't upset the MAGA base. Well, tough titties, they're always upset.
Right.
They're upset about everything. They're upset from the minute they wake up to the minute they go to bed. But I also want to say this. I've seen some people on the left being really cruel lately and saying, okay, have fun when you get deported. Don't do that.
No.
Don't traffic in the recreational cruelty that MAGA does. You can say, God damn it, I told you guys they were going to do this shit, but we're here. This is why we advocate for this. But The biggest thing moving forward, as everybody is like, oh my gosh, the Dems need to move to the center and the Dems need to stop with the identity politics, yak, blah, blah. The Dems need to teach the working class, working class people that wake up in their suburbs or rural America and they go to their jobs. They rarely ever get a raise. They come home, they watch Wheel of Fortune, and then they watch an hour of Fox News. They go to bed, they rinse and repeat. How do you link their anger and their dissatisfaction with their lives to that of other marginalized groups? You have to identify who the problem is. And who the problem is the lying American oligarchy and its enablers. And so you tell Brenda, that lives in, some small town in America, Brenda, I know that you're tired of working so hard. I know that retirement seems so far off. And then you hear the Democrats talk about gay rights. Let me tell you why those two things are linked. Because they use gay rights to lie to you so that you can get mad at something instead of what the source of the real problem is. And the real problem is, you're being used here. Mm-hmm. You're being used and herded in so that the Elon Musks of the world, right after Trump won, I think he made $30 billion. I'm getting the number wrong, but it was insane in the stock market. And also, Brenda, Deborah's son down the street that seemed a little effeminate? She loves her son just as much as you do. Do you want people being mean to that kid? Because it's all the same people that want to be mean to all the same people. They lie to the working class. You're being lied to. The Democrats need to come out and say, fuck you, quit lying to the working class. Fuck you, quit beating up on gay people. Fuck you, quit being mean to immigrants. Do we need to do some work on the border? Of course we do. But quit being so goddamn mean. That's what I think the Democrats need to do. Listener, with big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about these gotcha prices ever again.
What I have struggled with in the past with my wireless providers is there have been hidden fees and they upcharge things that I wasn't aware of. So that's why Mint Mobile makes it so easy.
And listener, the great thing about Mint Mobile is you can use your own phone and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/news. That's mintmobile.com/news. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/news. $45 upfront payment required. That is the equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Pumps, everybody talks about your dramatic and fantastic weight loss. How were you able to get access to GLP-1s?
I will tell you how. With hers. Hers provides a holistic solution to weight loss. I feel so much better having taken advantage of all the opportunities with hers.
And you look like $1 million. Listener, hers is changing women's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable weight loss treatments. Hers connects you with a medical provider who will create a personalized treatment plan tailored to your needs. If prescribed, you'll get medication as a part of a doctor-developed weight loss program, including ongoing care and online support at no additional cost. Plus, your personalized treatment ships for free directly to your door. It's time for you to find the best option that works for you with hers. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/IHIP. That's FORHERS.com/IHIP for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/IHIP. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
I couldn't agree more. When you look at how Donald Trump behaves, the rhetoric he uses, the cruelty, the fascistic language, in my mind, I was like, people cannot agree with that if they're not in the MAGA bubble. And what we learned is a lot of people, particularly the working class, does believe in a message that is opposite of the Democratic Party. And I've heard a lot over the weekend about cancel culture and all of those things. So I'm with you. It's time for a good look in the mirror and figure out how to build the best coalition moving forward.
The look in the mirror is the Biden administration cannot run around and talk about what a threat Donald Trump is and then sit on it for 2 years.
Agree.
That leadership started at the top. They said, it's okay. We're going to kind of excuse this because we don't want to upset these people again. And I'll say it again, who are upset all the time. But the Democrats have to connect back to the working class and say, the reason we fight for you is the exact same reason we fight for the LGBTQIA plus community. It's the exact same reason that we fight for marginalized communities, because there's one group of people at the top. All they care about is their board of directors and making sure the shareholders get a good return. And so they rage bait you, they hate bait you, and they get you all stirred up against each other. Furthermore, the Democrats need to come out guns a-blazing about how weak Donald Trump is on foreign policy. Did you see what Russian media did when they announced that Donald Trump won? They showed all of Melania Trump's nude photos, reminding the Russian public this is going to be the new first lady. It was very demeaning. But what Putin's doing is he's saying, yeah, you're my bitch, Trump. Trump didn't come out and say, fuck you, Vladimir Putin. No, he doesn't do that because he's a fake tough guy. He is a total fake tough guy that picks on everybody that he can pick on. And he's surrounded by enablers. And the Joe Rogans of the world and the Dave Portnoys of the world need to find what true masculinity is and say, you know what? I'm going to stand up for this kid in the corner that everybody's picking on instead of piling on and being this big bro culture. And when you see how like millennials turned out really well for Kamala, a lot of these people were raised during the Obama era. And then you look at, we were raised as Gen Xers, we were raised during the Reagan era where it was demeaning to the poor. He did it in a much classier way. But you and I, we know it was like worship capitalism, cruel to poor people, they're lazy and all this stuff. We have got to come out and fight as hard as we can to save the institutions that we have. We cannot cede now and say we're scared to speak out. We're scared to criticize the president, because here's the deal. American democracy is going to be very, very difficult to reorganize. How is Russia all of a sudden in this situation of an oligarchy? Because they've been a mess for a long time. In my lifetime, it was a completely communist rule, and then they had to reorganize. Hungary's a tiny little country. This is 200 plus years of sustained American democracy. And if you want to come get it, come get it. We're going to have a huge resistance, a massive resistance, because when you take progressive ideas, issue by issue, and put them on a ballot, do you want to raise the minimum wage for your state workers? Yes. Do you want to legalize marijuana? Yes. Do you want to limit gun control? Yes. Do you want women to have the right to have a private OBGYN appointment? Yes. Do you give a shit if gay people get married? Couldn't care less. Yes. Let's let them have a crack at it. We need to be loud. We need to have leadership at the top that fiercely defends American democracy. And Joe Biden did some good things, but that's where he failed because he set up the permission structure to say, we're not taking this seriously. He set it up. And Kamala Harris, I thought she ran a great campaign for 107 days, but trotting around with Liz Cheney, I called it out when she did it, and I'm going to continue to call it around right now. Liz Cheney is a part of the American populace that enabled this kind of hateful rhetoric to rise to the top. She said, before she found Jesus and became anti-Trump, she said that babies were getting killed after they were born, which is a lie. So if you want to join our coalition, Liz Cheney, tell your people that was a lie that I repeated. It's not true. They're using abortion to religious groups as a wedge issue, and I fell for it, and I was wrong because now something I love more than that, American democracy, is at stake.
I completely agree with you.
Okay, listener, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's so